Hi, my name is Father Kevin Gallagher. I'm the pastor of St. Teresa of Calcutta Church in Monterey City. What we're going to make today is chicken pot pie. It's one of my favorites. We've used it for fundraisers for our parish many a times. It's my mother's recipe. My mom and dad were from Ireland, and this was one of the great comfort foods that my mother used to always make for us. So I want to explain to you what we're going to be using. You know, usually when the food lady, that's Sylvia Burke there, and I would make it as a fundraiser, we usually make 100 quarts of it. So that's a lot. So this is the small pot that we start with. Okay, well today we're only going to use this one because that's really small. That barely feed one person, I think, you know, because, you know, after all, we're all on diets, right? So anyways, one of the key things when you're starting your chicken pot pie, always start with chicken base, okay? The reason for that is because, again, sometimes depending on what you need or what you choose for your chicken, if you choose boneless chicken and skinless chicken, you don't get all the flavor necessary to make a good pot pie. So the base really helps out and adds a lot of flavor to your meal. When you're choosing your chicken, I always suggest using quarters, bone in with skin. During the cooking process, when it's cooked, you take the entire quarters out, debone them, take your fat skin off. All right, but if you're worried about cholesterol, we all are, use boneless, skinless, okay? Usually, for a small pot like this, we will use 2 chicken breasts, okay? And then we'll use chicken quarters or thighs. Sometimes a little bit more than that, but I used it all in the big pot. Okay, and you put that in, okay? Oops. Now, it's important to remember that once it is cooked, to take it out and let it sit and rest, okay, while you continue the rest of the cooking. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute or two, okay? Next, you put in carrots. Usually use about a pot this size would be 1 bag of carrots, okay? I have a little less than that right here because, again, I use most of them in the other pot over there. So you add your carrots, okay? The next thing you would add is your minced onions. It's 2 onions, okay? So all chopped up, minced. They'll melt away as the cooking process continues. Okay, so you just simply add that. Sylvia will do the stirring. Then you need to add your seasonings, okay? Now, one of the things, where's my spoon? Minced garlic. You can either use fresh garlic that you've pressed, or you can, you know, get the already made minced for you. You need, for a pot this size, you need about a good teaspoon of minced garlic, and you sprinkle that around. Water. Okay. It depends on how much you like garlic. If you like a lot of garlic, you can add more to it. The next thing you have to add, of course, is basil. Basil's wonderful. Gives it an extra great good flavor. And that has to be about maybe a tablespoon. A little more. And of course that, again, will add a lot of taste to your pot pie. And then, of course, you need parsley, which again, about another tablespoon of parsley. Okay. And then some seasonal. I use that at the very beginning. You add later on near the end of the process, you'll add salt and pepper to taste, okay? Depending on how much you like of that. So you just add a little, okay? That you will just simply stir in and then cover with the lid that disappeared.
Yeah, let it bear
Ah, there it is. It ran away. Okay, and you just let it sit and simmer. It takes about an hour for the chicken to cook. Okay, after the chicken is cooked, again, like I said, you remove the chicken, allow it to cool, take your breast and chop it up, toss the breast back in. It will begin to shred and go throughout the pot pie, okay? You save your dark meat for later. You put that in at the very end so that when people get a plate, they get a lot of chunks of the meat and everything so that it tastes very good. Okay, the next thing you will add are your pot pie. Now, this is homemade, okay? So you can go to the store and buy the store-bought ones, which are all right, you know, but these tend to hold up better. They absorb a lot of the juice and make the pot pie really, really good, okay? Usually you make it, you add flour, water, oil, an egg, salt, okay, that somebody forgot, and and a little bit of chicken base added to the water. And that gives a lot of flavor to your noodles. When you toss your noodles in, okay, you just have to remember to continue to stir as you do so to keep them from sticking together, okay. Well, we'll put her to work, make her do all that.
There, give me a...
Okay. Okay, you put your noodles in. Let your noodles cook for maybe about 10 minutes. The reason why I'm saying that is because when you do the noodles this way, the longer they're in the juice, the more flavor they will have. They won't taste doughy or anything when you're finished cooking. Okay. After about 10 minutes, you will then add your potatoes, which are diced and sliced. Okay. And then you add them to your stock pot here. Okay. And again, needs to cook for about another about 20 minutes or so. Okay. You have to make sure that you keep an eye on it so that things don't stick together. Okay. See how full things are? It's the reason why I use a big pot. So after your noodles and everything are almost done, that's when you would add your peas to it. There we go. Okay. Oh, hold it. Okay. And then again, you'll have to continue to stir and to mix as everything begins to blend and cook together. Okay. Once everything has been cooked, yeah, you put the lid back on. Once everything has been cooked, if it's still very loose, you'll need to add some thickening sauce or thickening flour. And that's simply, you just get a little bowl, add a spoonful or two of flour, mix it together, then add a little bit of the juice from the pot and mix that and then pour it into it. And then keep stirring until it thickens, okay? Then once your pot is done, put your lid on it, set it aside, okay, and then let it sit for a good 10-15 minutes or so before spooning it up or serving it. It is great once it cools down. You can freeze it. It lasts for months in the freezer. It's very tasty. Well, that's about it. Yeah. So that's the whole process in a nutshell. Okay. Now, Sil, take the lid off the big pot. That's the big pot in there now. And see, everything thickens up nicely. The chicken shreds. Your noodles are there. The veggies are there. Potatoes, carrots, peas. And it has a wonderful flavor to it. If it's a little bit too thick for you, you can always add chicken stock to it. Okay?
Good. Oh, is that delicious? Hey, and nothing better to wash it down with than Bailey's Irish cream. Really good pot pie.
Hi, my name is... That came out good!